$1 hailstorm hits an area, your focus should be on running your business, not on insurance claims. We have helped streamline the insurance process for hundreds of roofing contractors across the U.S., and we can do it for yours too. Visit us online at c3adjusters.com and learn how we can help you save time and get claims paid faster.
Sure you can hear me here, guys. I do not have the camera on at the moment. The battery in this camera died right as I was about to go live. So I'm going to switch back to the countdown and I'll be on once I get the new battery in. All right, so hang on just a minute. Okay, guys, I think I'm here. Is mine a little blurry? You got this, Frank? Okay. We good? I look a little blurry.
You're a little blurry.
Well, it gets the job done. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. If you notice, it's a little different. We're here with our daily 12 p.m. hail forecast. Sorry for that delay. We are forced to use our older camera since Derek is actually out chasing today, and he takes the 4K camera with him for those chases. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can do some live streaming. The old camera here, it's a Canon Rebel. We haven't used it in a little while, and apparently one of the batteries was a little bloated and also dying, so it got stuck in the camera, so we had to get that going. So anyway, yes, the camera quality is not the greatest. We don't have anything calibrated, but we get this going here. Let's just jump right into it. Thanks to C3 Group and Merlin Law Group, both of their pages in the description below. You need help with the website, get some guidance with everything, you can go ahead, give us a call, and we'll happy to set up a training. Let's review yesterday real quick, and then we can jump into the forecast. So yesterday, we had a 4-star map. Looks like we had Huntington, Indiana, Wheaton, and Danville, Illinois. Wheaton is in the Chicago area, so this is all the Chicago area stuff and all of Indiana in one very large 4-star map. We're up to some tennis ball size hail, and then we had an impact of 267,262 homes. A ton of homes hit. It looks like the best hail might have been in Indiana and Danville, Illinois, but the Chicago area at the very least is a new day of loss. So this storm, this is from the Danville area. This one was in Wheaton, Illinois, and this was also, this one's in Huntington, Indiana. This is the Chicago area. That one was the Danville area. That's what the pictures were at. So that's what we're looking at for the storm, and this was over right by Lake Michigan in Chicago as well. So yes, the camera, I do look a little blue. I know the camera isn't, everything isn't calibrated, so I think it's just the lighting is causing everything to make me look weird, and it's kind of a junky camera compared to the 4K that we have. Another 3-star map we made in Des Moines, Marshalltown, and Urbandale, Iowa. We had some golf ball size hail. Primarily, we had some ping pong ball size hail in Marshalltown and some close to ping pong ball size hail in Des Moines. About 40,000 homes impacted with that. Here's some pictures. These are all kind of spread across the Des Moines area. This one is outside of Des Moines a little bit. So with that, we had quite a bit of hail yesterday. Had over 100 reports. What does today have in store? We have a couple areas that we are watching, and Derek is actually going to be heading up this way to try to get some big hail in northwestern Kansas. We have really big hail possible over a very rural section of the country in western Nebraska. We got 20% chance for North Platte. It's pretty much the only town in risk. So we have that there. We have 10% for Abilene. This is going to be overnight tonight. So these storms here are going to fire after about 4 p.m. Any isolated storms are going to be firing. Looks like could have up to 3-inch hail with them and possibly some tornadoes. Further south, this is going to be overnight after midnight across sections of southwestern Texas. Looks like we could see up to 3-inch hail with that as well. Before it turns into a line of storms, it makes Saturday fairly convoluted. There's a chance we could see some storms here in the middle here. I've kept this pretty subdued. I think the cap might actually hold, and if storms do form, I think they might struggle with the cap, and that would keep hail sizes down quite a bit. A big thing to note, 5% here for Denver. I think Denver points north. We could see some storms form off of the mountain range today as everything gets going here. I'm keeping a close eye on that. I know Denver itself is not in the risk from the Storm Prediction Center, but I'm starting to think we might see some storms with quarter, $half size hail possible around Denver itself. Maybe even bigger than that. You get further north towards Fort Collins, maybe Cheyenne. We could see some pretty big hail there, up to some golf balls possible with that. So watching that super carefully, and then further to the east, I have a 2% chance in Chicago again. My chances with that are going down a little bit as it's pretty chilly and raining over much of the area right here, pretty much where my hand's at. So I don't think that's going to be too much. We could see some storms in Indiana and into Ohio, but primarily some near marginally severe hail. And then finally, Omaha, you got a 2% chance. I think we're going to see an absolute ton of activity in central and western Nebraska, but I think Omaha and far eastern Nebraska might not see as much activity. Storms are going to form, move along that warm front, and cross the warm front to South Dakota where they'll quickly die off. So that's what we're looking at for Friday. You can see in the future radar, look at all these storms try to form over by the Front Range, over by Denver, and then storms forming in western Kansas and a little further to the north into Nebraska. These storms, all those storms could have very, very large hail, especially in Nebraska and Kansas, where you can see up to that 3-inch hail possible. But you see in the model run, nothing really gets close to Omaha at all. It all stays very far off to your west, maybe Grand Island. And then we shift a little further to the south, and we could see some storms form in the late afternoon, way down near the Rio Grande, where there's not a lot of people, and then a lot more activity forming in the overnight hours, where the initial storms could see some big hail. Then after that, it gets a little more convoluted, a little more linear in nature. So that makes tomorrow's forecast challenging. So right now, this is my preliminary forecast. I guarantee you this is going to change when we go into tomorrow. We could see storms all the way up towards Minneapolis. That's my preliminary forecast. Right now, I'm kind of leaning to smaller hail here. We might not get the level of instability we need for the really big time hail north of probably I-70, honestly. And then here, up to 3-inch hail, anywhere from I-70 basically down to right around the Dallas area, and that's extremely conditional. So we're going to have storms moving through the area in the morning. Now, the amount of recovery we get, so if these storms move through very fast and we get the sunshine out, we get a lot of warmth, a lot of instability to build up, yeah, we could see some 3-inch hail storms form by Oklahoma City, maybe even further south by the Red River. However, if it turns out that this system is a little too strong and it blows through, then we may not have the amount of recovery we need, and that hail threat will go down considerably, or that hail threat will be limited to just where that MCS, that big squall line's moving through, and that would really minimize the hail risk. Right now, models are trending more on the side of getting some serious recovery in there, so I'm saying up to 3-inch hail possible, but at low confidence. So this is what we're talking about here. You see that system moving through, and then we get to the afternoon, and this one, well, that paints a scary picture for more Oklahoma, but again, you got to take this with a grain of salt. So you see other activity up to the north, but it looks a little messy, so that's why I'm not going very high on my hail sizes, north of about I-70 in Kansas. But any of this stuff, that could be big time hail. So it all comes down to if this pushes through and keeps things a little bit more unstable versus stabilizing everything, we could see some big hail. Somebody asked about Austin, Texas. Probably not going to be that far south. Kansas City, we'll see. We'll honestly kind of see how things play out. This one has some stuff over by Kansas City. So again, we'll just kind of see how things play out. Tomorrow is extremely conditional to what happens overnight tonight. So the video tomorrow will have a much clearer idea of what we expect for the day on Saturday. I do not have a 5-day. If you missed it, I was live last night from about midnight-ish till after 1 a.m. I went to bed about 3 a.m. and I'm here for you guys now. So a little slow on the start this morning, so I didn't get a chance to get to that 5-day, but I can tell you that Sunday might be a little more, a wind threat might be a bit of a break, and then we will see Monday is starting to look a little bit more interesting, I'll put it that way, in terms of its intensity. So that's going to be the next thing really on the docket, and then after that I think Wednesday and Thursday look busy, and then we're kind of one after the other, after the other, after the other, all the way into June. So Sunday, Michigan, maybe. We have to see if things can be more isolated versus being kind of linear. Yesterday ended up being a pretty nice day in the Great Lakes region for hail. We had quite a lot more activity, especially in Indiana, than I was expecting, but I'm sure a lot of folks are welcoming that kind of hail activity. So follow us here on Facebook, hit See First, especially today. We will go live. If anything happens, say in Denver, it'd be after about 3 o'clock local time. Yes, somebody did ask, Denver. After about 3 o'clock local time, you could see some hail, $0.25 size hail, maybe Denver itself, maybe even bigger up towards Fort Collins. Watching that super carefully. We'll go live with storm chasing if there's anything exciting happening there. So all that is reason why to follow and hit See First so we can get it there. Houston, probably not too much. You guys are probably going to coast off of that storm that you had last week for a little while here. Indiana, I think you're not going to see anything like you saw yesterday. And email us, visit our website, hailtrace.com, give us a call at hailtrace, give us a call at 855-334-4245, email us at info@hailtrace.com, or visit us at hailtrace.com, and follow us on Instagram as well, where we're probably doing updates with the storm chasing in Kansas today, and we'll be storm chasing tomorrow as well if it looks good enough. If you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, you're not watching this live, put it in the comment section below. I'll try to answer them as the day goes on. Keep an eye out on your notifications or on your Facebook, and there goes the battery on that camera. So I'm going to wrap this up. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you again, hopefully doing those hail dances later on today for live coverage.